Hi everyone, Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another monthly budget report card. It is May 31st. I'm basically going to be going over May and then going over June. And you may notice from previous videos that my background's a little different. We are moved into I'm going to say our temporary home until we hit the road in September. So you can always, if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you can watch last month's video or any of my other videos before you can kind of see the background is a little bit different. So May was a busy month. Like I said, we moved. So we had some expenses going into moving. However, you're going to see in June that we are able to save some money now. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, our temporary situation, my friend's helping us out, having us live in her rental property. I talked about that in last month's budget video. I also mentioned that we attempted to get financing for an RV and we're not able to do that, so we decided to just look for a older, cheaper RV and pay cash, and we actually found one. We looked at several throughout the month and we bought our RV. So you're going to see a lot of the money, our emergency savings and the motorcycle the motorcycle money from selling the motorcycles. So we've kind of juggled some of the money around in order to make that happen. So I'll kind of go over that as we get to it. And then next week we'll have a tour of the RV, or our new home on wheels, since we will be living in it full time. So we're excited about that. Everything's going. It's moving along nice. So let's jump in May real quick. I'm basically going to go over what I originally budgeted. And if you're not familiar, I follow Dave Ramsey's zero-based budget. So before the month, you'll see how I do June. I budget where every single dollar is going to go, whether it's for a regular expense, some type of savings account, or fun money, things like that. And then I keep track of it, and I actually budget out each week. So I know exactly what I'm spending each week out of each paycheck, and then I compare it to what I actually spent. So green means we did better than budget. Red, we did worse than we had budgeted. And blue, we were basically right on budget. If we're within a $5 area roughly, I just say we're on budget. So let's jump in. Our first category we always go over is our income. Ricky, we keep budgeting the $1,436. They did get another small bonus, so he made $1,487, so his was over budget, which was good because that's the income. Mine, I budgeted $900. Again, I was working at Domino's, and I wasn't sure because I did take that last week off in May with moving and everything. I wasn't sure how much I was going to make with the tips and everything. I actually ended up making $1,025, so that was above budget, which was good. Extra, we didn't anticipate anything. We weren't sure. I did still have Arcadia's bed and Elsa's bed, and one of our sit and stand strollers on Craigslist. I had listed those because I really didn't want to have to move those, and we were able to sell those. So we made $315 off of that, which we basically put right into our RV supply fund, kind of like household items for RV items. And then our rollover, we had $427 from the previous month that was rolled over to May, so that was right on. Okay, so regular expenses. So again, from normally this top one would be our rent, but because we are moving, we did not have to pay rent for June, so we just put it down as moving costs. I had budgeted $300, and we actually ended up spending $368.29, and what that was for was the budget truck that we rented ended up costing $150. And then we had to have the carpets professionally cleaned, which that was $150. And then we spent, we did have to, refill the tank on the budget truck before we returned it. And then we paid the $2 for the post office to now forward our mail to the new address. So that was kind of the expenses for moving that we counted as moving expenses. This one, we've changed it. Instead of just car insurance, it's car and RV insurance. I have not officially set up the RV insurance. I will be calling on that, so you'll probably see when we do next month's video how that number will be adjusted. This one, however, we did have a credit from our motorcycle insurance, so we only paid $97.63 when normally it's $119. And again, that's probably going to change because we will be adding the RV, so that will go up slightly. So, but that was right on budget. Netflix, $8.69, right on budget. Our electric bill was $72.20, right on budget. Our internet was $52.80, right on budget. Water actually ended up, I budgeted $100, it ended up being $102.78. Again, if it's within like $5, I keep it as right on budget. Adobe Cloud, this $10.62. Cell phones, $50, right on budget. Hulu, we ended up doing the Hulu free trial, and we're going to go ahead and keep it while we're here, because again, we're only going to be here for 3 months, and then when we hit the road, we may cancel Netflix and Hulu, depending, because we may not really have access to internet as often as we think, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. So we did pay the $7.99, which was not budgeted, so that's red. Groceries, we had budgeted $2.44. We spent $251.97. Again, it was off by about $7, so right on budget. Gas, we budgeted $180. We actually ended up spending $228.52 over budget, so that's red. And I had a feeling, last month I mentioned I had a feeling that would be more because we did drive out to this other property several times throughout the month before we got the budget car. So that's that. Kids, $50.11, so that was for diapers, wipes, and then we did buy 2 outfits for the girls, right on budget because we had already basically spent that. Dog food, $20, right on. We still actually have the $20. We didn't have to buy it, so you'll see in June that we don't budget to buy it because we still have the balance of the $20, which is good. Personal care, $1.68, toothpaste or something like that. And then I originally budgeted $145 to roll over. However, I ended up rolling over $284 because I did basically the first weeks of grocery shopping. I did that yesterday. And then I went ahead and bought both boxes of diapers ahead of time. So I went ahead and kind of added that into the few bills that need to be covered before we get a paycheck. So that's that. So let's come on down. So basically, the RV purchase, if you watched last month, I had a balance here of $4,000. That's what we had sold our motorcycles for, so it was going towards the purchase of the RV. However, because we found an RV and they were selling it for $7,500, we offered $7,000. He came back at $7,200. So we got our RV. It's a 1992 Damon Hornet, Class A. There are no slides. Again, though, we're going to do a short little tour with you next week and give you a few of the repairs that we need to do and a few of the renovation ideas that we have. So all in all, we spent $7,200. And again, you'll notice here with the emergency savings, Burning Man, and stuff, these balances have changed because I basically moved that money so we could just pay cash for that. So I just put a note here so I could let you guys know that we spent that. So RV purchase for June obviously will not exist anymore, but we did it, you guys. We have it. We have our house paid for, which is awesome. I'm so excited. All right, so emergency savings, again, because we put money towards the RV, we originally, I think last month we had somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. I don't remember what it was, $2,000 and something we had saved. So that balance has gone down, again, because we did put money on there. However, Dave Ramsey's first step is to save that $1,000. Second step, pay off all your debt, which we did. And then the third step, there's third step A, which is to get your 3 to 6 months of expenses saved as an emergency fund. And then step AB would be to put a large down payment on a house, or for us, we went ahead and paid cash for our house on wheels. So I'm kind of back to we're still working 3A. I still have that $1,000, which is good. And now we're working to finish that 3 to 6 months before we hit the road in September. So this month, though, I originally budgeted that we were going to save $1,232. I was only able to save $806. That's just because you're going to see now as we move down, I have some more red categories where we did go over budget, but I'm okay with that. So all in all, though, we have $1,512 saved now for the emergency savings, and so we are working our way. Still looking good. So sinking fund, someone had asked in a previous video in the comments, what is a sinking fund? So sinking funds are kind of like an extra little savings account that's not for emergencies. It's for things that you know come up, but they don't come up every month. Maybe they come up once a year, maybe they come up every once in a while. And so a sinking fund is just trying to help you to budget so you can save for that item ahead of time. And that way when it comes due, you're not looking at it like, oh, I have an emergency, I have to pay my tags, and then you go use emergency money. This way you're planning ahead. That's kind of like what a sinking fund is. So for us, we have car registration, which I just paid a year of, which is good. The RV registration, so again, we just purchased the RV. We had the title and registration, all that transferred into mine and Ricky's name, and we were able to register the RV here in Arizona for 2 years. So we have that taken care of for 2 years. That was $55. So that was, we didn't anticipate that, but it's still a good thing in my eyes anyways. And then I got the car RV maintenance. We had $63 here before, but we spent that $63 and then we spent an additional $24. We did have to get an oil change done on the car again with where I had been driving so much. We've been having to have oil changes a little more often. So we had oil changes on the car, and then we did buy a few things for the RV that have already, that, you know, like I said, we have a few things that we're having to fix on the RV. So we'll go over that next week with you, but that's all right. Burning Man. Some people, you know, you can just put this down as a vacation sinking fund. So again, we were trying to go to Burning Man. I had 1,300 saved specifically for the tickets for Burning Man, for our gas, for our outfits, all of that. And we mentioned that we did not get the tickets in the main sale, so we signed up for the STEP program. I had a video last week about how we registered for STEP, and we were giving ourselves till June. If we didn't have tickets by June, we were going to decide not to go. However, when we found the RV, we decided, so about mid-May, we decided we're just not going to go this year. We're going to plan on next year, and that's totally fine because we ended up using that 1,300 to purchase the RV, so that's fine. So that has a zero balance now. We'll go ahead and leave Burning Man or change it to vacation for anything that's specific that we're trying to save for. That's a good amount. Giving, we originally had $8.69. Again, I mailed some tarot cards to my friend. Unfortunately, I didn't have her apartment number, so they were sent back to me. So I have to resend them out, but that's okay. But we did end up spending more, $117. Ricky bought donuts for the guys for his co-workers because they did good. And then we did have a kind of like a welcoming barbecue at the house that we're at now. So we did end up, you know, buying, you know, food and all of that stuff. So we ended up going over on our giving, and that's fine. And some people might think that's a fun thing, but for us, we paid for everything when everyone came over. So to us, that's giving to them, you know. So that's how we look at that. Arcadia and Elsa, again, we're not really doing our commission jobs right now. We're going to get back into that moving forward. So you'll see that when we start paying them to do their jobs around the house. And then again, the RV fund, the $315 that we made selling items went right into our RV fund. However, our balance is only $271 because we did end up buying a mini charcoal grill that we'll be taking in the RV with us. And we purchased, I got some of those vacuum seal bags, so I was able to get all of our snow gear into one thing, which was nice, and consolidate that down. And then we got some LED lights that we're going to put on the awning that are solar. So those are some of the RV things that we bought. And again, you guys will see those as we go. And then homeschooling office, we budgeted $100 and spent $98.11, so basically on budget. And I still have $132 saved in my office fund that will be going to pay for my website that I'm working on, and you guys will see that come up when that comes up. So last category, our fun category. We budgeted $100. We ended up spending $240, $54. And again, I told you guys, it seems like we're pretty consistent with spending about $200. So I should just change it to 200, but I keep trying to keep it tight just to see if we can stay at 100, and that's happened like one time, but we'll see. But with moving, we ate out a ton. That whole time we were moving, I didn't want to cook, so we spent several days eating out, and that was crazy. $126 just eating out. But all in all, even though we had a lot of reds this month, I'm gonna give us a B still. Well, no, I might even still say I have an A because we were able to buy our house on wheels, our RV, cash. So it's freaking awesome. All right, so we're just gonna go through June real quick, and you're gonna see next month when I do this that it's probably gonna end up totally changing because that's just where we're at right there. All right, so here is June. So like I mentioned before, we budget for the whole month, but we also budget into each week, depending, for the pay periods. Now, Ricky gets paid every other Friday. When I was working at Domino's, we got paid our hourly pay every other Friday, which was the opposite Friday as Ricky. And then every night that we worked, we got paid our tip money in cash. So you're going to see though income is a little different. For Ricky, we're keeping it at $14.36. For myself, I put 0 for the month. I have applied at the Domino's out here, and I haven't officially gotten a call or anything. And that was just, like I said, we've only been over here for about a week. And the weird thing is when I did the application online, it didn't seem like it finished. I did like the e-sign page, and then it was a blank page, so I don't know if my connection went weird or what. So I was kind of waiting because I said I was able to start June 1st, so I was kind of waiting since yesterday was a holiday to wait, and then I'm going to call them, see if the application online even went through. If not, I'll just resubmit it online. So I went ahead and put my income as 0 for June because I don't officially have a job yet, so we'll see how that goes. Extra though, which is good, because we moved out of the other house, so from our deposits from the other property, we paid $850 security deposit. We did the walkthrough and the place was nice and clean. We had the carpets clean. So I have a good feeling we'll get that full amount back. In addition, we had to pay a $425 pet deposit. And again, we did really good. There was no damage from the kids or the dogs. So we believe we should get that back. And then in addition, I kind of mentioned this last month that our final electric bill and our final water bill will be paid with, and you'll see that down at the bottom, that it will get paid with our deposit. So the electric was about a $250 deposit. So I kind of minused out what the last bill should be. And then the water was $165, and usually, again, our water bill is about $100, so I minus that out. So that's what our $1,484 is. That should be all of our deposits that we should be getting anywhere from mid-June, maybe even into July, but I went ahead and just put it into June, and we can kind of monitor that as that goes. And then our rollover, again, I rolled over $284 from May for June expenses. So that's what we're anticipating. Again, the extra money could be less because we may not get the water and electricity. We may not get the refund until July. And then I may, luckily I get hired on at Domino's here within the next couple days, and then I just I'll make money that way. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. So regular expenses, the top one now is blank. We're not moving. We don't have to pay rent and for now, which is good. Our car insurance is $119.35. Again, I'll be signing us up for RV insurance. When I got a quote last time, it was literally going to be like an extra $11 or something, so it shouldn't be too bad. Our Netflix is $8.69. Electric, I have at blank because again, it should be covered through the deposit. Internet, because of the location I'm in, it was raised to about 52 and some change, so I just put 53. We'll see when we get the bill. Water, again, should be paid with our deposit, so we shouldn't have to pay those for June, but we will be paying, the house that we're in now, we'll be paying electric and water and maintaining the yard and the pool and all of that stuff is kind of what we're doing to stay here. So we'll see what due dates those end up being for that one. Adobe Cloud is the same, cell phone's the same. I went ahead and added the Hulu in there now. Groceries, I put $2.44 again. Actually, I will probably be raising this because we are no longer, I think June is the last month we get $26 of food stamps, and we won't be renewing that. So I'm not positive. So I may go ahead and increase that. Gas, budgeted $1.60. That's roughly what we were paying out in Maricopa before, we had a whole month of moving back and forth. So I think we'll be good with that. Diapers, $35. Everything else I don't have budgeted. Now rollover for July, so July, Ricky actually gets a paycheck on the 1st, so I don't need to roll over, and Ricky gets 3 paychecks in July. So that's why I don't have a rollover. I'm trying to think, why didn't I have a rollover? Okay, so down to the bottom here. All right, so we plan on emergency savings. Again, this is if we keep within budget in the other categories. We plan on being able to save $2,316.32. And again, that's on me not making any money this month. So that number hopefully will be higher by at least $800 or more. That'd be nice. And then our sinking fund, the only sinking fund we're putting money into for the month of June is the homeschool office. We're going to put $100 into that. And then our fund money, again, we're going to do 100. So we'll see how we do with that. So yeah, that's just a real quick view of that. Yeah, but as always, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me in my monthly budget report cards. I hope they help you in some way. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.